Hello, I'm Steve Eager. The news out of Uvalde, Texas is awful. 19 children murdered at their elementary school 2 days before summer vacation. The school was specifically for second, third, and fourth graders. 2 teachers are also dead. So is the killer after a shootout with police. Investigators think he shot and wounded his grandmother to start it all. Uvalde is about 80 miles west of San Antonio. Fox 4's David Centendry starts our coverage. He's in Dallas with the update. David.
Yeah, Steve, at least 21 people killed by the school shooter, 19 of them children. There's so many unanswered questions tonight. What led up to this shooting? What was the motive? Questions we hope to get answered throughout this investigation. But in the meantime, there are many families tonight grieving following yet another school shooting. Tearful parents leaving a reunification center, hoping to be reunited with their children, hoping to not receive devastating news.
We have not gotten one phone call from her, and her phone is off.
This woman trying to find her 10-year-old niece.
I'm just praying that my little one is okay.
The death toll increasing. Children and adults ambushed inside Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas.
And there are families who are in mourning right now, and the state of Texas is in mourning with them for the reality that these parents are not going to be able to pick up their children.
Texas DPS says the gunman, 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, shot his own grandmother Tuesday, later ditching a vehicle outside the school before entering the school and shooting indiscriminately.
The suspect was able to make entry into the school and started shooting children, teachers, anybody that was in his way. He started shooting every single person.
The Texas Department of Public Safety says he used a rifle and wore body armor. Cell phone video shows first responders rushing to the scene. They were immediately met by gunfire.
Several officers were shot, and at that time we did have a tactical law enforcement team arrive on scene who were actually able to make entry, and the suspect then returned fire to that actual tactical team, in which a suspect was then shot and is now deceased.
And we are not actively looking for another individual or any other suspects in this case.
Following a brief statement from the school district's chief of police, the district's superintendent fought back tears.
Again, my heart was broken today. We're a small community, and we will need your prayers to get us through this.
We're now learning about one of the victims, Eva Morales, a 4th grade teacher with nearly 20 years in education experience who'd been working at Robb Elementary for 5 years. Her school bio says she's married to a Uvalde Community ISD officer, and she also leaves behind an adult daughter. Names of teachers and their classes are written on a board outside the reunification center in Uvalde. Family members helplessly hoping their loved ones are safe.
I want to tell myself that she's okay, and I'm going to keep telling myself that she's okay and she's going to come home.
And we are still awaiting multiple news conferences from the investigating agencies, including the FBI. At this point, we only heard those news conferences earlier from the school district and some local agencies, including the superintendent of the school district. So again, Steve, plenty of questions still to be answered tonight.
There's no way I could have came up here and just posted another reaction to something that don't matter or is definitely not as important as this, man. Like, everybody needs to stop what they doing. If you're unaware, if you're still aware, and keep your attention focused on this, man. It's surreal, it's terrifying, we living in a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the kids. I mean, it's the children. It's the kids, it's the children. If you can't expect to think that your children will be safe within the confines of a public school, education environment, on top of everything else we're dealing with right now. What is this, like the 3rd mass shooting we've had in a few weeks? Like, the society is just fucking, it's been going down the drain, but it can't get much worse than this. Kids, children, and me being a new father, those of y'all that are parents, like, could you imagine experiencing that? Ah, man, I'm like, there's a thumbnail in front of me, there's the grid in front of me with the other thumbnails to watch, and they're showing pictures of the...
More about those children and the teachers. The first was fourth grade teacher Eva Morales. You see there, the wife of a police officer and a mother. She was a running enthusiast and part of the school district for 17 years. Also confirmed teacher Irma Garcia, who was married with 4 children. All of the other victims inside the school believed to be fourth graders, only 10 and 11 years old, including 10-year-olds Xavier Lopez and Avia Bravo. 13 children were rushed to their local memorial hospital.
Ah, man, I wouldn't. That was rough to see. That was rough to see. These is kids we talking about, man. And we can sit here and you know, backseat quarterback what should have taken place. No, fuck that. We need to get into it. We need to get into it. I mean, I am a believer that it's not the gun that kills people, it's people that kills people, and we need to tighten down on these clamps as far as people being able to retain weapons. I know there'll always be outlets to get it in the black market off the streets, but as far as legitimately purchasing the gun, they need to tighten the screws. And I'm very aware that the senators are twiddling their thumbs as far as passing these background investigations for all gun sellers, because the shooter purchased that rifle the day before. With that being said, we need to just have schools policed at this point. I know the chances of that happening again are few and far between, but it don't matter. The fact that it happened once and children's lives were taken. You know, all these schools, all these schools, all these campuses need to be policed. There needs to be armed officers securing schools at all times. Shit, metal detectors that you find in schools. It don't matter, bro. Like, don't let this go in one ear and out the other, man. You can't. Don't become numb to this. You can't get numb to this. It's fucking children. You leave the children alone, bro. And the fact, and I don't give 2 fucks of why this man felt the need to do what he did, whether he was mentally unstable. I don't give a fuck. It don't matter. It does not matter. You leave the fucking kids alone. There's no reason why anybody should go on a goddamn campus and mow children down. Mow children down. An 18-year-old mowing children down. 19 children, 2 teachers. What the hell the school had to do with you? You know what I mean? It would make more sense you take your animosity out on somebody who did some shit to you. You're going to go to the most innocent place, the most innocent location, and take down children? How are parents supposed to feel? On top of everything else that's going on in the schooling environment, education environment, where you're worried about what your child is receiving. Now you got to worry about his fucking safety? I can't imagine what this parents is going through to know that your child was frightened like that, had to sit there and think about what they were thinking, the pain that they felt, probably wanting to be near their parent, the fact that they feel not safe, the fact that they're seeing what they're seeing. The other children are probably scarred for life. Not probably, they are scarred for life from whomever had to experience that, see what took place as a child. Well, you can't get numb to this. You can't get numb to this. I mean, we shouldn't be getting numb to this shit, period. But you can't get numb to this. This shit don't happen. This shit should never happen. You know, changes need to be made to fucking fix this shit, rectify it. But we here right now. We need to feel this shit. We need to deal with this shit. This shit needs to be top news indefinitely. Fuck all this other shit that don't matter. This is what the fuck we need to be focused on. Them was fucking children, man. Made me sick to my stomach, made me pissed. Like, I want to just... Anyway, man. I don't know what the hell this video is going to be, but this is just to bring more attention to it, create awareness for those who are not informed, even though I find that hard to believe that you don't know about this. But if you don't know about this, you know it now. Feel this shit. Let this shit sit with you, man. It could easily happen again tomorrow, the next day, the day after, the day after, the day after. Anyway, man, y'all be safe out there.